Hey everybody, welcome back. When we last left off, we had defeated all of the enemies in the Glitz Pit after dark. So the only things left to do now are defeat the Underkeeper and to beat the last boss. Off camera, I went ahead and got everybody to level 30. It was only one more level. I figured it would be more poetic to have the toughest fight in the game be everybody at level 30. So that's why I went ahead and did that. I also did some shopping. Refilled on some items, got my red essences, Yoshi Colas, and from last time we got the all-important Star Egg, which is going to come in really handy in this fight, because it does guaranteed damage. Now for the equipment, we've got everybody's best weapons. We've got Red in the Raven Armor to nullify elemental damage. This guy doesn't use a lot of elemental attacks, but the Raven Armor also boosts your magic attack, and Red's magic is going to be very important in this fight. Similar reason why we have the Hunter Medal. This raises your physical and magic attack in battle, although the Underkeeper does occasionally use Shredder, which would get rid of that boost. It also, in addition to raising the stats in battle, it also raises it outside of battle by a good 30, you can see. Yellow, we just want Yellow to live. We want to make sure that our party doesn't get wiped out, so we're boosting Yellow's defense as much as possible. There's the safety ring, which blocks elemental attacks and insta-kills, and there's the lazy shell, which brings his attack down to garbage, but boosts his defense so high that even the Underkeeper can't kill him in one hit with anything. Again, we just need him to live. Green has high enough attack power that he can do some damage to the Underkeeper through regular attacks, but it's not going to be that much. Really, what we need him for is he'll probably be using items most of the time, using the Star Egg because it does the most damage. And he's got high enough defenses, higher than Koopa and Black, that he's the most likely to keep on living. And he has his special cleanser that heals your status effects. So this is our A team for this fight. And let's give it a shot. So for the backstory of why I added this guy as a fight, he was the very last thing that I put in this game after everything else was done. And the reason I added him is because as I was tweaking stats... Okay, that was funny. So this guy has max attack power, and yet he only did 1 damage to Yellow because of how high Yellow's defenses are. But anyway, as I was making the game, as I was tweaking stats, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if there was an enemy that had max stats, max HP, max attack, defense, everything? Would it even be possible to beat an enemy like that? So I decided to put that to the test and add him as an actual enemy. So this guy has max stats, which HP is 9,999, and attack, defense, magic defense are all 255. With those kinds of defenses, most attacks don't do much, which is why we're primarily using Red for Magidisc, which is a defense-piercing move. And then Green and Yellow will be using the Star Egg whenever they can, which does guaranteed damage. This is one of those fights where if you know what you're doing, if you can kind of plan around things, it's not terrible. Once you get the attack patterns down, you know what he's going to do and why he does it, and you can plan for everything, this fight's probably easier than the Axum Rangers fight, honestly. can see that Yellow's stats, attack stats, have been lowered so much by Lazy Shell that he barely does over 100 when he uses Group Hug. Yeah, we might as well use Psychopath on him. You gotta have a certain death wish if you want to fight Death himself. Yeah, this guy's immune to Shell, and elements in general, I think. So I guess our best bet is just to get rid of Scarecrow on green. He does counter you depending on what attacks you use on him. If you use spells on him, he counters with either Dark Shell or with Storm, which you just saw him use those against Red. If you attack him with items, like we've been doing with Star Egg, that's when he uses Meteor Swarm on you. If you hit him with attacks, I think he just ends up using Scythe on you. Might be misremembering that one. But you can see his attacks that he uses on his turn. He does a few different things. He has magic attacks he hits you with. He has physical attacks that he hits you with. He's got status effects that he uses. So this guy kind of does a little bit of everything, all across the board. Okay, so the fact that he used that attack just now tells me that he's below 2/3 of his health. His attack patterns change when he's at 2/3 of his health and 1/3 of his health. So 2/3, he starts using that, using powerful elemental attacks in addition to his other attacks that he's already been using. I don't want to risk getting countered by Meteor Swarm and have Yellow die. Yeah, that'll do it. We'll let yellow just come back. Gee, I wonder what I should be using. This song is a banger, as the kids say. Did the kids still say that? I don't know. Yeah, we'll bring red back. This is why we gave yellow all the defensive stuff, so that he lives. Poor guy. Green can't catch a break. Alright, Royal Flush. That tells me that he's down to a third of his HP. Royal Flush. It's the highest regular attack in the game. It does more damage than any other regular attack in the game. But again, Yellow's defense, rather, is so high that it can't break through. Yellow is the weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Might as well get the full heal. If there was ever a fight to use these, it'd be this one. Wow, Green actually lived from that. I'm surprised. Guess this is why we brought you. Not really sure if there's much point full healing Green right now. Alright, since we're getting close to the end here, and the Underkeeper's attacks are getting a little more serious, we'll play a little bit more defensively. Don't want to get caught with our pants down, so to speak. Even though nobody on screen wears pants. I will be very surprised if you live. Yeah, that was never gonna happen. How are we doing? Alright, 1300. You can do that. And oh well, still use this. We've got him on the ropes now, guys. Just a few more turns. Tough guy. Just a couple more of those and we'll have him. Alright, that's my bad. Got a little overconfident there. I think he's like one hit away from dying, but just in case. There we go. Took us a solid 15 minutes to get through that fight, but hey, we made it. Alright, we get the undergear for our trouble. It's meant to be kind of the end-all be-all super armor of the game. It's the super suit, like from the original. So why not give that to Red? Let him become Superman. Alright, not much left to do. But there's one more thing I want to do before we fight the final boss, and that is show you the trophy room. Alright, here in Koopa's house, these are all the different trophies you can get throughout the game for accomplishing different things. The shell is for beating the flag-finding game that the Koopa in the sewers gives to you. You find all the flags around the world, he gives you the lazy shell, and this trophy. When you defeat Shadow's first form, so not the final boss, you get this one. You get this one for defeating all of the enemies in the otherworldly prison in the underwear, but not the Underkeeper himself. The Underkeeper does not give you a trophy. This is for having all of the items that you can buy from the Frog Coin shop present in your inventory. So if you find all the frog coins, you buy all of the stuff, and then sell one of the pieces of equipment, this trophy will disappear. So beware. You get this extra set of armor for beating all of the hunts. You get this little mini Axum Red for defeating the Axum Rangers in the Glitz Pit after dark. And you get this star from talking to Gino in the Star Road. So with that, there's only one thing left to do, and that's beat the game. But before we do that, it's always time for a quick nap. That's great life advice for real life, too. Why is this guy invisible? You know what? We're gonna go take a nap over here. Alright, I think we're good on items. Not sure there's really much we would need at this point. If we can beat the enemies we've beaten, the final boss should be a cakewalk by comparison. Once we're done with the final boss, we're watching the credits, doing all of that, I'll give you some final thoughts about the game. My hopes and dreams, what I liked, what I didn't like, all that good stuff. Which I know that's why you guys are here. You could be watching anybody do a playthrough of this game, but you wanted to hear everything straight from the source itself. Man, why did I make these guys so annoying to dodge? Alright. Guess we don't need to save here, there's another save point coming up. But that's fine. Last save point of the game. We are ready. Yeah, we'll watch them. Why not? The Koopa brothers actually try to come up with a plan before rushing in. Bowser? Isn't he supposed to be locked up? Could that really be Bowser? No. Koopa brothers are up to their old tricks. They got a Bowser disguise and are trying to fool Shadow with it. Reminiscing about how they used this against Cooper. And Cooper saying, "It didn't work then." We're finally rescuing the heroes. Finally saved all 4 of them. And just in time. Uh-oh, he's on to us. Uh-oh, we've been found out. These scenes can be a bit lengthy, which is why I give you the option to skip them. But hey, we're here at the end, so we might as well watch them for fun, right? Alright, Red's come up with a genius plan. We've already freed the heroes. If there's no one around for the Shadow Queen to possess, then we should be good, right? The lore behind this particular scene is that Shadow is part machine, part organic living creature. So the Shadow Queen tries to possess him, but since he's not really a living thing, he's kind of half a living thing and half not, she can't really fully possess him. So the two sides are at odds with each other inside this body. And the result is that no one's really in control of the body at this point, and it's just kind of a mindless, raging maniac. So the Underkeeper explains to you, I don't really know what's going to happen, but you should probably stop him. So that's what we're going to do. You like this fire animation down here? I worked really hard on that, guys. Yeah, we do a lot of damage. And in true Shadow fashion, he comes in different forms that do different things. So the form you just saw with Mario, that's kind of the default form, because that's what Shadow kind of uses as his default form in this game. But he doesn't, that form doesn't have any attacks or anything, and you won't see it again in the rest of this fight. This form, the Hex form, uses physical attacks and has strong physical attacks and defense. That diamond saw came from the Soul Pyre, not from the Shadow Queen. Similar to Smithy before him, if you want the Soul Pyre to not attack you, you can attack it, and when it runs out of HP, it'll temporarily be unable to attack. But I'll leave that to you to decide if it's worth it. Yeah, we're such high level right now, with such good equipment, that this guy doesn't really do much to us. The final boss is balanced so that he'll put up a good fight, and you can still beat him, probably around level 20, 21, maybe even 22, if you're having a harder time. But we're level 30 with endgame equipment, so we're doing a lot to him. The Geno form uses really powerful magic attacks. Yeah. Neither Shadow nor the Shadow Queen have ever met Geno, and yet for some reason, they're able to turn into him. I don't know. Don't think too hard about it, guys. The Koopa Brother variant. This one does random attacks. Random attack, random magic attack, status effects. It can do a lot of different stuff, but it doesn't usually stick around for very long. You might do an attack or two, and then change again. once his HP dips below a certain amount, this form starts using multiple attacks. So that's why we got attacked twice there. There we go. Got her. Got her, him, whatever it is exactly. We did it. Alright, let's watch some of these ending scenes, and then we'll talk about what happens next. Getting a little existential here. The two of those villains, Shadow and the Shadow Queen, combined, now that they're dead and down here in the underwear, stay combined? So the Underkeeper says, I'll separate them eventually. Alright, I wanted to have these scenes in here at the end of the game. Kind of the what happens after the world is saved scenes. So this is supposed to be Gino and the leader of the Star Road, as you will, talking amongst themselves, saying, you know, hey, those guys did it. They managed to fulfill the wishes of many people. Maybe a bit hokey, but I like that sort of thing. It's just the sappy old man in me. You guys remember the end to the 1,000-Year Door? And when you're fighting the final boss, the crystal stars all fly off to the different groups that you've helped, and they all, you know, come together to say, you can do it, Mario, you're fighting and the whole world is behind you. That moment's a bit hokey, but I like it. I like stuff like that. Colorado getting no praise from the rest of the Koopas. Bob-ombs always causing trouble. Allie and Cleamander going, well, boss is gone, now what? So they decide to leave. All of Shadow's minions going, what are we supposed to do now? Shy Guy's having a dance party, now that their island is theirs. And the Koopa brothers finally getting the praise they deserve from the big man himself. All's well that ends well. Okay, now here is the final scene that I had mentioned way earlier on into this run, where the different groups of people that you save over the course of the game all said, yeah, we'll send troops to help you when the time comes. We've got volunteers who will join your fight. But then nothing ever actually happens with that. So this is that scene. People finally show up to help you, but you've already beaten the game, so they can't really do anything. And they all leave. Alright, that's it. But let's talk sequel. I'm sure you guys are wondering, is there going to be a sequel to this game? And the short answer is probably yes. I do enjoy doing this. This is a really fun hobby for me. I really enjoyed seeing all my work come together like this in this game. I did that Axum Rangers hack many, many years ago, but I was never really satisfied with it. There were a lot of bugs and glitches, and most of the levels were just reskinned levels. I didn't really do that much to change them. But this one, I feel like, was kind of my redemption arc, where I put all of this stuff together, and it really came together in a way that was super satisfying for me. But in terms of the sequel, it's probably going to take a long time. From start to finish, this one took me, I'd say, around 12 years, but my work on it was very sporadic. I had a lot of stuff going on, multiple years-long periods where I wasn't able to do any work on it at all. Just, you know, stuff with life, it gets in the way, so for years I didn't even work on it. So even though it was technically started about 12 years ago, it's, it wasn't a full 12 years of work, if that makes sense. So doing a sequel, I wouldn't expect it to take nearly that long, but you're still probably looking at least a couple years. Yeah, I just want to be straight up with you guys. I tend to get annoyed. I tend to get annoyed with those people who will announce that they're working on a game, and then you just don't hear anything from them for 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is. Hey, we're working on this, but then you might never see it. Who knows when we're actually going to release it? Like, I think they did that with the latest Elder Scrolls game. They announced that a 6th one was coming, like 5 or 6 years ago or something, and there's still no sign of it. That's just annoying. Why even bother announcing anything at that point? So, all of this to say, yes, a sequel will probably come at some point, but don't expect it at any time soon. I will say that, for me, the most annoying part of doing this was animating. I'm not a sprite artist, so drawing the Koopa brothers, I had to do that pretty much from scratch, using, other existing sprites as templates and such like that. But it was not easy, and that took a long time, and it was pretty demotivating, just because of how hard it is for me to do it. But if I do a sequel to this game, I already have the Koopa brothers animations, so that part won't be nearly as bad. I'd probably touch some things up a little bit, maybe add a few new animations to it if I can, but the fact that the base animations for the Koopa brothers themselves are done, that's a big boon to me. I'd probably add some new sprites, though. Maybe if I can find some online that are already done and people give me permission to use them. I would say I wouldn't use the same 5th character. I'd keep the Koopa brothers, but probably not put Cooper in there again. I'd want to change things up somewhat. I don't want to use all 5 of the same characters the whole time. But, I mean, in this game it made sense narratively for Cooper to join you, but I don't know if I necessarily need that for a second game. I have actually already started on the sequel, and I've got some ideas brewing there. Stuff's already coming together as it is. I already know who the 5th party member is going to be in that game, but I'll leave that a surprise for now. But in general, I'd say expect the sequel to be of a higher quality than this one. I've learned some new things. Just in the last few weeks, I've learned some new things, how to do certain things with editing itself, so I'd like to try those new things out. But yeah, that's what we got going for a sequel. In terms of this channel itself, I was thinking of maybe moving to a streaming format, doing some more casual streams. What I'd like to do is stream challenge runs of different Nintendo games. Something like, I run Super Mario RPG, but I do a low-level game. Or, I run Fire Emblem. I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem franchise. I run Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, but I do an Iron Man of the Japanese-exclusive Maniac mode. The stuff like that. This YouTube format is a bit weird to me, because I'm just kind of talking into the void. I feel like I do better when I have somebody to bounce stuff off of, so if I had an actual chat I can interact with, I think that'd be a lot more fun. But this was supposed to be a long playthrough where I show you a lot of stuff, so the fact that I didn't have a chat to bounce off of is not the worst thing in the world. But anyway, if you're interested in seeing more of what I do, subscribe to the channel. I will say that in the future, whenever it may be, when I'm ready to release the sequel, I will post videos here on my channel. So if you wanna know when that sequel comes out, best thing to do is subscribe to the channel and watch for those videos whenever they may come. But if you want to see more of me, hear my awesome voice, and watch me play video games at an incredibly skilled level, then yeah, check me out on Twitch at NXMRanger. I haven't actually streamed anything yet, but I'm thinking of starting doing that. Like I said, if I wanted to do that challenge run thing that I was talking about, it wouldn't be for a few weeks. I'm going to take a brief vacation, brief hiatus here. So the earliest I'd start up is probably mid-August. But again, if you want to see any of that stuff, the best way to do so is to subscribe to me, follow me, do all of that stuff. Yeah, I guess that pretty much covers it for now. So I hope you've enjoyed this ROM hack that one guy on romhacking.net called the best Super Mario RPG ROM hack to date. And that guy wasn't me, by the way. But thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll see you in the future.